Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where it is time. Today begins GoBall. Now we always have a GoBall ahead of Gumball 3000 when it's time to drive to the start of the grid. Today we're departing from the Shmuseum with our support vehicle, and remember I haven't yet fully revealed entirely our plans for this year's Gumball Rally, but we're going to be setting off from here just outside of London to go all the way up to Edinburgh with this to prepare for what is ahead of us. Now, that means getting it loaded up, and we're literally taking this quite seriously as a support vehicle. This year, I have gone more on the organisation than ever before when it comes to a Gumball Rally. This is now my 9th time on the grid, Team 150. I've got some very exciting plans to reveal really soon, but we've got a big old drive ahead of us, 400 or so miles on the road from here in the van up to Scotland. This is going to be a big adventure. I've never planned for anything like this, but we have a team of 5 people. That means a whole lot of luggage, all of the personal things, and a ton of stuff in the van I want to show you, because we're going to be on the road for about 3 weeks. In fact, this year's route from Edinburgh down to Montenegro, and if we come through to Max's Jag, we're going from Edinburgh to London, to Amsterdam, to Venice, to Budapest, to Montenegro, means that we can both drive to the start in Scotland, and if we're crazy, we can drive back home from the end in Montenegro. We can have a GoBall and a home ball. The last time that a Gumball route meant I could do that was a decade ago, 10 years ago, when we went from Copenhagen to Monaco in 2013 in my Audi R8 Spider. That feels like an eternity ago. That was my second Gumball. This is my 9th, but I've been involved, I think, in about 13 of them now. This is going to be unreal. So we're taking as our support vehicle, because I've not really fully explained what I'm doing yet. I showed you the liveried AMG GT Black Series, but that's not the car that's going to be driving the start line. In fact, that's not the car that's going to be driving the rally. I've not explained this, it's a first, we'll get to that. But this is our team car. We use it for all sorts of errand running. It's the Ford Transit Custom MSRT, wide body, big wheels, white and pink. This is actually painted. This is called Telemagenta, this paint color. It is not a hot pink wrap, but we have added the livery, the support vehicle, Gumball 3000 massive roundels on the side, and we have the Gumball Racing Team stripes, the theme for this year. In fact, also on our Tour Team Rally shirt, Team 150, the 24s, because it is the 24th Gumball. But as well as having a row of 3 up front and a row of 3 in the middle, so we can take 6 people in one vehicle, we also have a ton of space, which for a road trip like this, we're going to be needing. This van is driving to Edinburgh, it's driving the 3,000 miles of the rally, and then in Montenegro, it's turning around and driving back home. That's over 5,000 miles. As such, in here, let me show you quickly what we've already put in. We've got some spare wheels and tyres. You never know what might happen. We've got a trolley jack. We've got some tools. We've actually got a box of our DeWalt tools, along with some batteries, the CS3, in case we ever have any battery issues, ratchet straps, basically everything that could possibly be required. We've also got a whole load of giveaways, but I can't show you those yet because that will reveal a little bit too much about our plans. We've got a lot of fun things happening, but combine what's already in here with the luggage we need to put in, with the giveaways on the grid, and with probably bailing out some other Gumballers who have turned up in supercars with absolutely no luggage space, because that's what you do, obviously, on a long adventure like this. It's probably going to be quite full back here in a moment, so we need to get this loaded up and ready for this route, for this rally. But of course, the theme is this team livery. We've had my friend Jordan, Team Skookum's 812 here for a while. That's about to ship up to the start of the rally with the full stripes, the full theme, all of the sponsors. But yeah, there's a lot more I've not shown you guys. There's a lot more that's going to be really fun, but we haven't got there yet. So today we've got an errand along the way, which is really cool. It might involve a new car. I'm not sure how much right now I can tell you, but we'll get to that. Then we're making our way up to Edinburgh. It's a 7 or 8 hour drive from here. It's 400 plus miles on the road. The van needs to be loaded up first. So let's get cracking on, put all of this stuff away, and then it'll be time to head out. The good news is that's all the stuff we have so far, but that's still shy of a couple of extra things. we wouldn't really be fitting all of that, even in an estate car, I don't think. Anyway, plenty in here. We can close this up and go and get ready, basically, to pull the van out. One of the beauties of taking something like this, by the way, is even in here, we've got loads of space. Stuff under the seats, tucked in, the bench seats back there, also up in the front. Check this out, actually, I find this quite fun. You can actually just open this seat, and in here, extra storage, magic, under the seats. Anyway, let me close that back down, click it in. I should go hop in, get this started, and pull it out. We're on the move. We're driving up the M1. We've got many, many hours of M1 to the north in front of us. In fact, the north quite literally, as we head all the way through England and then a little bit in Scotland up to Edinburgh. Now in here, as you would probably expect, we have loads of creature comforts. We're running on adaptive cruise control. We've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. In fact, we've even got our team playlist for the rally, which you can check out as well. Try and pop a link to that down below. But obviously everything that you would expect in a vehicle that's used for a whole lot. I've done a bit of driving in here, but not loads. We now have 6,662 in a second miles on the clock. That's going to be basically doubled during this journey, which is kind of crazy to think about. But we kickstart with GoBall. Now GoBall for me is always this excitement of heading to the rally. Obviously last year for the Middle East we flew out there, so not quite the same, but for the rally from Toronto to Miami, we collected the GT500 in New York, had an adventure and a half up towards Canada to Montreal and then around towards Toronto, whereas today it's just the motorways here in England. It's a long slog, hopefully without too much traffic, but we're going to have to see how that evolves as we go. But we do have a very, very exciting stop along the way, and I've got to be careful with what I say here because I don't want to reveal too much, but something to do with a future Shmee-mobile and to do with going and paying a very, very, very big deposit. It's kind of the side effect, something that has to be done, but quite an exciting way for me personally to start Gumball 3000. I just can't really tell you too much about it because it's something we don't know about yet. And yeah, that might get me in trouble. You'll just have to take my word for it that it's going to be mega. So we will swap driving a few times up along the route. We've got half an hour or so to our first stop, but it's a long day ahead of us to get to Edinburgh this evening. You can fly up, you can take the train up, or you can drive your Gumball support vehicle up. First time we've had it out on the roads with delivery, but we're ready. We're ready, it's time. I tell you what, when the sun is out, this thing is bright. You're not gonna miss it, and I wonder how many people are probably spotting us on the drive up. I imagine a fair few. Anyway, quick stop, grab a sandwich of course, van life in the car park, eat some lunch, get ready for the road, onwards to Edinburgh. In the passenger seat for a few minutes, and of course, Shmoo the cow is here with us as well, plus we're MSRT van spotting. We're not the only MSRT van on this section of the motorway at the moment. Well, I seem to have been demoted to the back of the van now. We've just had our checkpoint, which has been very, very exciting. Up front, we have Puppy, Shmoo, and Brad at the moment. Shmoo is just chilling here, normally enjoying the view. Currently chatting this way. Shmoo the cow is on the way towards Edinburgh anyway. We've just been basically doing a lot of paperwork, lining up what's going to be down the line. I'm so torn on wanting to talk about it, but I tell you what, from the back here, we've obviously got tinted windows, so I can people watch, traffic watch, see what's going on. You can pop this open if you want to. That's kind of all the window you're going to get from back here though. Fairly easy, I suppose. And you also have some fairly upright seats back here, which is something on a long journey probably gets quite intense. But anyway, lots of space, everything we need, and good for the road. This is about to be really cool because we've got a chrome tanker here. Check this out, check out the reflection. Look at that, bright pink in all its glory on the side of this. Pop this open. No, that's not going to make any difference at all. You'll have to kind of take my word that it looks really, really cool out there. Nice. Payment issues. We're out of the toll booth. 0 to 50, 0 to 50. All of the pace, 40 miles an hour, and 50. Well, look at this thing in the sun, although I tell you what, there's one potential little issue with this: white wheels. Look at that, they were properly clean. Brad had given them a complete run over before this drive. We are what, 200 miles in? Yeah, they're gonna be hard to keep clean throughout the 5,000 mile adventure ahead of us. Anyway, my turn to get back behind the wheel, continue this journey, so onwards we go. This has definitely been a day with a whole lot of roadworks. Are we coming to the end of this one? Maybe, yes we are. Anyway, we're somewhere now north of Manchester, I think around Preston, something like that part of the country. So 2 hours 45, just under 200 miles to go to get to Edinburgh. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some of my other GoBall and HomeBall experiences, because my word, there have been some adventures. My first Gumball in 2012 was in the US, New York to LA, so it was flying out to New York and flying back from LA. The second one, 10 years ago, was the last time we had this drive to the start and drive back in the Audi R8 with the Quicksilver exhaust, the R8 Spider with no luggage space for 2 weeks, driving it over to Denmark for the start in Copenhagen and driving it back from Monaco in one hit after the Grand Prix weekend back to London. I won't forget that drive because it's about 15 hours, 900 miles or so to do that journey, and that car was loud and it was squished. It was not like today's very easy drive, relatively speaking. This is a very gentle walk in the park in comparison to that. 2014, Miami to Ibiza, flew to Miami, drove back from Ibiza, and that HomeBall in my McLaren MP412C was a nightmare. We were on the island of Ibiza, and Ibiza back to the UK is basically 2 ferries. You can take the ferry from Ibiza back to Denia, which is what we were supposed to do, until we turned up at the ferry terminal, and I kid you not, there was a piece of paper saying the ferry is cancelled. There was no, note that my booking wasn't going to be able to be fulfilled or anything like that, so we had to take a replacement to Barcelona, drive from Barcelona to Santander, and I remember that drive because we had about 5.5 hours to do it, and the nav system said it would be 6.5 hours to then catch the ferry from Santander back to Southampton to drive home. Oh boy, that was a mission. Anyway, I'm waffling on about that one. Since then, we've had, what else? 2016, we drove to Dublin for the start, and then I flew back at the end. 2018 was London to Tokyo, started at home, flew back at the end. And then last year, like I said, we had the GT500 story with everything kind of going very, very pear-shaped with the wheels on the way when we hit a pothole in upstate New York. So I would rather not repeat any of that if I can avoid that one on this particular journey. It is still quite funny not being able to say what we're doing, and I'm sorry for this. GoBall is all about getting ready, and there's so much buzz amongst Gumballers, amongst people. Everyone's asking where we're going to be, the grids, the routes. We don't know. In terms of the routes along the way, we don't necessarily know any more than you guys do. Gumball 3000 posts some things on their social media platforms around the towns and around some of the stops, but if they haven't posted it, I don't know it. It's literally a case of learning as we go. And then around all of that, we've got our whole team and all of the other plans and all of the other logistics. So it's a lot going on. It's all pretty crazy. And then at the end of this, the HomeBall journey, which I can't fully explain either because it links to what we're doing, isn't a direct one-shot home. There's going to be a whole lot more content in some new places. So it won't just be like this, sitting on the motorways back home. It will be visiting a few other places and making a bit of a Where's Shmee tour, to be honest. It's a bit of a Where's Shmee Euro tour on the way home with the places that we're going to be going. Anyway, this is all going to plan so far, so long may it continue. Hopefully it's not going to be too eventful, because I'd love to get to Edinburgh with the sun setting later this evening, go see the castle, go have a look around town, maybe find ourselves some Gumball cars when we get there, just go with the flow. Look at all of these views. We're up near the Lake District, Yorkshire Dales off to the right, Lake District off to the left, a ton of sheep up over the hills, and look at this, the view out in front. The scenery is very, very pretty up here. Rather different to what we have down in the south, down near London. But I tell you what, we're probably going to be heading a little bit further north of Edinburgh as well in the coming days, and finding even more of this kind of view. I haven't been up this way for a good few years. Look at that. Very, very British. This is quite exciting. We are now arriving at the Scottish border. There is a very big Scotland flag up on the sign to the left. I've been thinking back, this is the 7th time I've done a trip either to or from Scotland or something like that. But yeah, here we are. Welcome to Scotland, the start country of the Gumball 3000. I can't also believe how good the driving etiquette is up here. The way people actually move to the right lane, and if, let's say, you're in the left lane coming up to somebody and there's somebody in lane 2, they'll move to lane 3 to let you out before you need to go. I've never seen that so frequently down in the south. It does not happen in the same way. So massive props to people up here. Hey, that's a new Range Rover, satin green. Looks kind of cool. Never actually been out in one of those. Anyway, yeah, people are very, very, very impressive with their driving, which just makes it really pleasant. Driving up here with the scenery and the way people drive feels more like crossing the continent. It feels more like driving in France or Germany or something than it does compared to what I'm used to driving over here, which is great. Yeah, we're here at Gretna. In fact, we might just pull in here, have a little bit of a driver swap. It's only about an hour and 40 from here to Edinburgh. Time is flying by, even though it has added some time, which I guess is down to traffic on arrival in Edinburgh because of the time of day. But at least we will be pulling into the city with daylight and the sun still up in the sky. Well, take a look at this scenery. The road that we have over towards Edinburgh this evening is spectacular. Now, I didn't really know prior to us driving vans, but on roads like this, you actually have a slower speed limit in a van than a passenger car. So this would normally be 60 in a car, but it's 50 in a van. Nonetheless, memories of driving this the other way back in 2014, Miami to Ibiza, after we'd set off for the European leg from Edinburgh, and now cruising along in the sunshine on some very, very nice bits of tarmac. Off in the distance over there is Edinburgh. We are approaching the city, so you can't see too much through the trees. You just have to take my word for it that it's over that way, and we will be there in not all that long, although for some reason the nav says it's going to take us 26 minutes to drive 8.5 miles. And there's something wrong with that, so fingers crossed it's not going to be so bad, and we can go find some Gumball cars, see if anybody has arrived as early as we have. Okay, this is cool. We're in Edinburgh, obviously up on the hill. We're actually going to be going to the castle, I believe, but for the time being, taking in the view, figuring out how to get through the town, and probably around whatever this is diverting us around. What a lovely day to be here. We're on Princes Street, so the last time Gumball was here, the grid was all the way down that end, up the hill at the far end. This time around, it's going to be somewhere just around this corner, but it's fun to be back. I haven't been here for a long time. We're right in the city centre of Edinburgh. We're going to go past some of the hotels and just go see what's up and what's around. The road that crosses us right here is where the grid will be. This is George Street. It's actually closed. Maybe they're doing some setup or something. Not expecting to find any Gumball cars around here right now, but this is where it's all going to go down. In a couple of days' time, there are going to be tons of Gumball cars absolutely everywhere around here, but this is where we're coming to for the time being. We've found what inevitably will be the Gumball 3000 parking, because it's all closed off, apart from one car that's tucked in. But obviously we're too early, and there's absolutely nothing here. Oh well. I don't think it's for Gumball, but there is an SLS lurking under the cover there, which even has some bumper protection, and the cover is held down with cable ties. I wonder if that's been there for like ages. Unusual. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit colder up here than it was earlier on, but I think we're going to win some kind of prize for being keen bees. We must be the first Gumball 3000 people to be here in Edinburgh. No cars in the garage, no cars at the hotel, and we're here with our support vehicle after a very successful drive. Although I tell you what I was saying earlier on, those are going to need a proper scrub. Those are absolutely filthy. We're bug splattered all over as well, but it's been a comfortable ride. It's what this thing is for. We've got all of our luggage up here and basically ready for the fun ahead. The only thing I haven't properly explained is what I'm actually doing. I've shown you the AMG GT Black Series, but said that's not here. I'm not about to drive that car. I've also said that what we're doing is something that's never been done before. It will be a first on the Gumball 3000, and it's taken a massive amount of planning. Some of you might have picked up on some of the little clues, but I'm not quite ready to reveal all yet. You're going to have to stay tuned. Over the next couple of days, 100 Gumball 3000 supercars are going to be descending upon Edinburgh. I'm sure numerous different vehicles and things will be around as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of cool guys are coming as well. We've got DDE, we've got Matt Armstrong, we've got Chiro from Petrol Hedonism, we've got plenty more getting involved, but this is it. This is going to be rally number 9. We're here in Edinburgh. GoBall has brought us to Scotland, and I'm ready to share the most amazing week or two with you guys coming up. So stay tuned for all of that. For now, we need to go check into our hotel, get settled up here in Edinburgh, and I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Cheers. Well, I think this video needs a bonus clip. We have checked in, and now, well, take a look at this. Lamborghini Countach. In fact, I saw this very car recently at Silverstone for the 60th anniversary Lamborghini gathering and parade. 380 or so Lambos together. And here it is. Absolutely incredible. One of 112. 6.5 litre V12. Absolutely awesome. that was a very, very pleasant surprise addition to our journey today that was not expected, but I'm definitely not complaining about it. What a thing.